Okay, so now we're at the next part of this two-part video, evaluating variables. After a variable has been created, it may be used later in a program anywhere a value may be used. For example, console.log prints a value. We can also give console.log a variable like this. These two examples have the exact same output. Console.log hello world. Remember we talked about this being primitive, right? A primitive data type string. So I'm just passing in the primitive data type string. But here, if I create a variable called message, and then I go ahead and assign it the string variable, although this is a primitive string, primitive data type, it's being stored inside a variable, which makes it an object. So now console.log, I don't have to pass in the string hello world. All I have to do is pass in the variable message, because message is a container that holds a message. And what is that message? Hello world. Now, this is the thing about JavaScript again. Because it's dynamic, even though I have that variable message and I'm using the let keyword, I'm able to change whatever that message is. So if I pass it inside of a function that I want to return a certain message, I can go ahead and change that variable message to a different message and a different scope. This is why it's important to kind of get your head wrapped around how these variables work, especially in JavaScript. So as we drop down here, we read, when we refer to a variable name, we are evaluating the variable. The effect is just as if the value of the variable is substituted for the variable name in the code when we execute it. Here's an example. We're creating a variable, we're declaring and initializing a variable called message, and we're giving it a string called what's up doc. The next line, we're creating a variable in, and we're assigning it a number 17. And then we're creating another variable pi, let pi, declaring it, and we're initializing it at 3.1159. Now when we console log each one of these variable names, it gives us the value right here. So really what we're saying is, by using variables, it allows you to be fluid, flexible in what you can do. Let me give you an example. My name is Terrence, and I spell it legally two different ways. This is something you need to understand why we don't use primitive data types directly in our code, because primitive data types cannot be changed. They're immutable. So let me give you an example here. Here I have another pair of glasses right here. This is a primitive data type. I can't change this pair of glasses to this pair of glasses. Once I create these glasses, this is it. This is the primitive data type. I can't change it. But what I can do is, when I could take this box right here, which I can call it a variable, put the word glasses on it, reading glasses, and then I can put this inside of here. Now, this box right here, this variable is an object. It's holding an object now. This is immutable. I can change anything in this. All I got to do is open this up right here, and then I can take the glasses out of here, or the reading glasses out, and I can put something else in its place. I can actually go ahead and put this shoehorn in here inside of this box. That's how JavaScript works. And that's why you have to be very mindful on how you label your variables and what kind of data points you're going to use. It has to make sense. That's the point I want to make. So here, in each case, the printed result is the value of the variable. Like values, variables also have types. We determine the type of variable the same way we determine the type of a value using type of. What do I mean? The reason why we're using this is because this object, which is message, has a message and it's been declared and initialized. If I don't initialize it, then it's just going to be an object. So here we go. It's just going to be an empty variable basically. But here it's assigned. Each one of these variables are assigned values. So when I do the type of operator on each one of these variables, it lets me know what's inside of it. Remember early on when I told you when we use type of, you can use type of on a primitive data type, but you can also, but if you have a variable, I don't know what's in that particular variable. It's just like me having this solid box right here. If I don't write what's on it, I won't know what's in it. And so we use type of because you have variables, you may not know what the value is in the variable. So type of is able to extract that information out for you and return it. It will become very useful later on when we put it in action. Now, the type of a variable is the type of data it currently refers to. Because remember, a variable is a reference. It's just giving a reference to the data. We need those variables as reference. Like I said earlier, my name is Terrence. It's spelled legally 2 different ways. All the way up till I was 16 years old when I first got my first ID. I always spelled my name Terrance. That's what's on my Social Security card. On my actual birth certificate, it's spelled Terence. Well, to my surprise, when I was younger, when I got my either ID or driver's license back, it had the spelling of Terence. I never paid attention to it. So when I went back to the DMV and said, hey, you spelled my name was spelled wrong. Can I get that corrected? And they looked at my birth certificate. They said, no, it's spelled correctly because we go by your birth certificate. Well, I spelled my name Terrance. That's the way my mother taught me to spell it. I spelled it like that all the way up until I was in my 40s. And now it became a problem when I started working as a developer because they did background checks. Now I have an alias because I have to state that I spell my name 2 different ways. But guess what? You may see me spell my name Terrance on certain social media sites. Some places you may see me spell it Terrence or Trence. Now, that's what we call a primitive data type. I can't change it unless I go in and change it everywhere. But if I had it stored in one variable, I can change it just in that one place and it will be automatically changed everywhere else. Now we can understand automation a little bit better by me giving that example. And that's what we do. We want to be able to make it easy to be automated. If I have to change it everywhere, all I have to do is change it in one place where it's the parent variable, and everywhere else it will be changed automatically for me. So I don't have to go and change it in every place that I'm using that variable because all it is a reference. Hope that makes sense, but if it don't, keep listening to the video and keep going over it until it does make sense. So here, when we say reassigning variables, we use variables in a program to remember things, like the current score at the football game. As their name implies, variables can change over time. Just like the scoreboard at a football game, you can assign a value to a variable and later assign it a different value. To see this, read and then run the following program in a code editor. You'll notice that we changed the value of day 3 times. And on the 3rd assignment, we even give it a value that is different data type. So here we go, right here we got let. And so what we're going to do is let's open up the browser's inspector tool. We're going to go over here to the console. Let's copy this right here. Let's paste it in. And then now let's run it. What do we see? We see the console log of the day. The answer is Thursday, Friday, and 21. So on the first variable, we assigned it Thursday. Then we console log day. I'm gonna help you understand how these console logs work, because it's definitely gonna help you to debug your program and understand how things are working. And then notice here we didn't put let in front of the day, but we were able to change its value. And then we ran the console.log for day for that one. And then here we changed the whole data type to 21, a number. Then we ran the console.log the day and we got 21. Now, a great deal of programming involves asking the computer to remember things. For example, we might want to keep track of the number of missed calls on your phone. Each time another call is missed, we can arrange to update a variable so that it will always reflect the correct total of missed calls. We only use let when declaring a variable. That is, when we create it. We do not use let when reassigning the variable to a different value. In fact, doing so will result in an error. So let's do it. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put let there. Let's see if I get an error now. I got a syntax error right there. Identifier day has already been declared. Remember this error because I'm sure you're going to make it. So get familiar with the errors that you get, because it's only going to help you become a better developer and help you locate your issues. And so now that you've seen it, again, we made it to the end of this particular video, and now it says check your understanding. Go ahead and check your understanding. And I'm going to see you in the next video, which will be more on variables. We're not done yet. So remember to bookmark this video, go back and check it out for reference. And the more you do, the more you'll improve. See you in the next video.